The second semi-final has finally concluded, ladies and gentlemen, and we officially have our second finalists. It's Team England who have marked the date, the finals date against Pakistan to be played on the 13th of November. What a game, what an absolute collective performance has it been from this very strong side. Team India have been completely outplayed in this second semi-final. A whopping 10 wickets, only the second time in T20 World Cups has India been facing a 10 wickets defeat. And with these thoughts, this is the post-match show of the second semi-final between India and England, and I, Ramani Basu, on behalf of Red Sports, will take this opportunity to welcome my panelists for some discussion in the studio, Jaydeep Mukherjee and Shubhayan Chakravarti. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining. So, a hard day for Team India, a hard loss for Team India to accept. Only the second occasion for them in T20 World Cup history, 10-wicket loss in a semi-final against England.
Yeah, I think it's the loss. I don't really care if it's 10 wicket, 8 wicket, 7 wicket. Loss is a loss. And we were outplayed in every department. I know it was only because of a Hardik special innings we went to a position of a fight. That's where he asked me, is this a winning total? I said, no, this is a fighting total. And then just to show everybody, those two openers of England showed us how to play in the power play. Now, even if they got out after the power play, they've done their job. So they go back, 22 ball, 38, everybody says well done. They haven't got a 50, but they've done the job. It's about being in the moment. It's about getting the job done, what's required at the time. And this has been India's Achilles heel for a while now. It's India's strike rate has been a bit of an issue. It's about time. Okay, today it's a 10-wicket thrashing, so we've been outplayed. I mean, this is not even a game. A semi-final is meant to be a game. This was as one-sided as you can see a game. Even when Hardik was going full pelt, you saw Josh Buckley, it's okay. It's okay. Because he knew 168, 170, we can get there. Look how easily they got there. If India got 200, 210, that's what this pitch required. That's what it required. But at first, in the beginning, we were so careful. This is a version you cannot play, be careful. You'll get away with lesser teams, you will not get away with the strong teams. The strong teams, the ones that are really good, this is as good an England team as you will see, they will make you pay.
Shubhayan?
England finished the game in 16 overs, and that shows how good they are in this 5-ball format. And Alex Hill's George Butler showed how to approach this format, and they were absolutely fearless. They knew they had a long batting unit. They knew they had good middle order batters, and they showed what KL Rahul and Rohit Sharma and other Indian batters, barring Hardik Pandya today and Surya Kumar Yadav in previous matches. I think they showed how this format should be played, and I think they outplayed, they outclassed us in this match and deserved winners today.
And just thinking just now, if you had to make a World 11 team right now based on this World Cup, one of our batters would win the team. Why? Only Surya would win the team. Forget the ones.
Strike rate.
Strike rate. Super strike rate.
Joanna, I would like to take a cue from what you just said right now. Careful by batting. What exactly are you trying to hint by that?
What it means is that, the strike rate. Once you are not batting at a minimum of 130, 140 strike rate, this version is not for you. No, it's not. You either play at that or you get out. Because only will somebody else be able to go and do it only if you get out. Like today, Pant only got Pant got a 3-ball 6. Now, can you imagine if Pant had got, if it's Pant's day today, and if he got 13 balls, that would be 26. But has those runs come?
Yeah.
So those balls that he did not get, or somebody else did not get. My problem is that I have no problem with fielding. I have problems with balls being hit. If somebody gets out 5 balls, 9, 7, no problem. You see, Prithvi is one guy, even when he plays for Mumbai or Delhi or whoever, he doesn't hit a balls.
No.
You will never see him 7 balls, 3 batting. Narayan for KKR never eats up balls. So they're the sort of people, either they win you the game or they say it's not my duty, you please come and do it. They don't bury you in the game. They don't eat up the game for you.
Shubhayan, well, it's unfortunate there's not too much talking to be done on India's bowling, or should we say there are a lot of questions to be asked with regard to India's bowling department, because shocking, isn't it? Not one wicket. Was it too much brilliance on the side of Joss Butler and Alex Hales, or was it somewhere where Team India's very much famed bowling department just couldn't click it tonight?
I think we should definitely talk about the bowling performances as well. We should ask tough questions. We should talk about how Indian bowlers failed to tackle the threat of Josh Butler and Alex Hales. Again, I'm repeating, Josh Butler, Alex Hales, right from the ball one, were terrific. They were absolutely in a dominating mood, and they did dominate today. But at the same time, I think the Indian bowlers, they didn't have a plan B.
Yeah.
They did try to hit Alex Hales and Josh Butler with bouncers when the fuller balls were working. They didn't go at the hard length against them, I think. And even with the spin department, we saw how brilliant Adil Rashid and Liam Livingstone were. They bowled together 7 overs, conceded 41 runs. Adil Rashid, for that matter, conceded 20 runs. If I'm not wrong, in his 4 overs, they were brilliant.
Adil 420.
Yeah, 420. So, when we talk about Akshar Patel and Ravichandran Ashwin, they were disappointing today. Bowling in the second innings, no matter how dominating your opponents are at that moment, you expect your spinners to at least try and get back your team into the game. But today, nothing worked for the Indian team.
And also the runs, I mean, okay, the bowling unit could have done better. They were taken 4 wickets, 5 wickets. We still lost the game. We just didn't have enough runs in the game. You asked me in the mid-show who is ahead. I said England is way ahead, because they're 20 runs short. And the only time people like Butler and Alex Hales will feel the heat and get out is when the run rate is climbing on them. If the run rate is not climbing on them, they won't get out. They're making all day.
Exactly. And you raised the point. Let's talk about bowlers in particular from India's bowling department. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar bowling outside of with short square boundaries. Where do you think the bowlers were going wrong? In their line, in their lengths, somewhere they couldn't read, or is it because the English batsmen were just unbelievably too good for them to handle? Joyda.
So these players play in Australia a lot, so the boundaries is not a problem. Yes, Bhuvi was, he, with the square boundaries being short, you can't be short on right outside, off stump. But you see, they do different things to you. The first ball of the match, he shuffled and went outside off stump, Josh Butler.
Yes,
that throws you off your comfort level. Bhuvi doesn't know. Suddenly Rishabh Pant is asking for a helmet. He's keeping up with the Suns. All the plans have gone disarray. You're thinking Bhuvi will come. The beautiful outswing, the edge to sleep. Suddenly started walking around. He's going way ahead. Suddenly Pant is asking for the helmet. All your plans have been just bombarded by a couple of movements made by the batter. But only people with very special ability can do this. It's easy to walk around. You can get into a lot of mess also walking around. But these guys, Alex Hales plays in the Big Bash, plays there. He's a gun player. So, they've been in situations like this. And they know that in this version, every day will not be my day. But the day it's my day, everybody will talk about it. Today is the day. Alex Hales in the final, or later on might not be this innings. But everybody will say, remember Alex Hales is in England? So you don't play for every day. You play for those days when it's your day.
Right.
And then everybody remembers for the rest of their life that inning. Like, we sometimes say, Surya's innings, today Hardik's innings. But Hardik's innings alone cannot win the game. 20, 30 runs, we will be 40 runs short. We could have been 200 on this wicket.
We should have
been. 200, I would have said, is a
5-10 total.
Yeah, I would say it's out of 10 times, 6 times we'll win, 4 times we'll lose. So 160, I said, okay, we'll fight, because you fight with anything. Even if you get 40, you fight. But the idea is that we were way below par. We just didn't get the runs.
And Joyda, Mithali Raj raised a very good point during the commentary. She was on air and discussing Bhuvaneshwar Kumar's line and length today. She said he was getting the swing. It's not like he was not getting the swing, but he did target the pads. Bhuvi with his in swing, we talked about his stats against Josh Butler. He didn't target him at the pads. He was going outside off, and Josh Butler will cream you all day. He streamed in for a couple of boundaries in the very first over. But then Bhuvi again, as I said, didn't have a plan B. He didn't come up with his in-swingers to the pads.
Yeah, in the Shubhain, Ravi Shastri was there and he said that now the in-swing will come. But the in-swing came when he had already gone for 8 in a row.
Yeah.
So once you are behind the 8 ball, then you are scared to try. Because now, then you try to just get out of the rover somehow. Bowl a couple of 1-1 balls and get out. Because you already get them. Also, the bowlers know that we have to do something remarkable. The batters haven't done the job for us. So we have to do more than we need to do, which is playing into their hands. Because you can only do that much. Okay, it's okay. We are a team. Our batting unit hasn't done the job. Now we bowlers are saying, normally we bowl 4-32-2, but today we have to bowl 4-16-4. So that's easy said than done. So then you try to do more and then you end up giving more. Because that's just not on. So it is how your batting unit does, your bowling unit can react to that. Now, if the batting unit is 30 runs short, the bowling unit looked, I know they could have been better, but today the fault lies with the batting unit. We were 30, 35, 40 runs short.
But I'll ask a question to you here. Since 2013 Champions Trophy final, which we won, India has played semi-final, final, semi-final, final, and they have been knocked out. Do you think it's more on the mind that is big pressure knockout games? You just play with a conservative, cautious approach.
So I think we're playing better teams. Semi-finals fine. You're playing the best team. So now we're playing a superb team. Can you imagine England batting first? They would have batted like this.
No way.
If England had batted first, they would have also batted like this.
The way India did?
The way they did in the second.
The way they did.
You see, they would have batted like this.
That's their set template.
That's their template. That's the way they play. Now, if there's 6 overs, 60 for 3, no problem. But they've got the jump they needed. Because what you can do in power play, you can't do at the end. It's never there. Those two fielders outside the circle are an absolute novelty for you. That is where you have to make up. The power play is called power play for a reason. Now, 6 overs, 36 balls, that is where you can get the jump. And we saw Pakistan yesterday, we saw England today. That's the way to do power play. And today, if you see all our power plays, we have never been 60 in one game. We are waiting for Surya 200, Hardik 200 strike rate. It's unfair on them.
Right.
It's unfair on them to every day say, dude, I'm going to bat at 95, you're going to bat at 200. No, you at 130, me at 150.
The pressure
We'll do the job.
be on one
Yeah,
person.
because you at 130 will set up the game for us. I will go and finish it off with 150. Then we'll get to 200.
Right. And let's get to Team India's bowling a bit more. Ravichandran Ashwin, and you picked up his point. He was getting the turn, he was getting the bounce, very good. But too much speed, maybe 99, 100 kph. On the other hand, his English counterpart, Adil Rashid, was much slower, due to which he was much more economical, for which he was a bit of a pain for the Indian batters.
Yep, Joyda and I were discussing that during England's bowling innings, Adil Rashid gave up quicker when he was slammed for a 4, then he slowed down. Suddenly, the very next delivery, he looped it up, he kept on looping it up. And that is where, you read the conditions, you read the batters. Ashwin, for all his brain, I rate him very highly. He's one of the greatest spinners India ever produced. But in today's match, he was very quick, he failed to read it. He couldn't tempt. He was firing those deliveries, and England, Alex Hales and Josh Butler, later down the order, Phil Salt, Livingstone, they will cream him all day. They will back him all day with that space. Had he gone a bit slower, maybe you could have one ball going at the top edge or miss time to the long off boundary, but that didn't happen today. And even Akshar Patel, for that matter, he was bowling 97, 95, 92. That's not the pace which Adil Rashid, or for that matter, their part-time spinner Liam Livingstone bowled here. Livingstone 85, 82, he was pulling it down, he was pulling the speed down, and I think that is where the differences of economy rate between the two spin duo of India and England are.
Also different bowlers.
Yeah.
One are off spinners, one are leg spinners.
Yeah.
One is a finger spinner, one is a wrist spinner.
Yeah.
So you can't compare them.
And both of them are leg spinners.
So if Chahal had come, he would have bowled at 80 also.
Yeah.
You cannot see Moin Ali didn't even bowl.
Yeah.
Okay? So Ashwin and Akshar are finger spinners. What happens with finger spinners is they cannot impart much spin on the ball because only the fingers are in play. Let me just take a moment to explain this.
Please do.
When there's a wrist spin, there is the fingers and the wrist. So when you go leg spin, you're doing with the fingers and the wrist. It's all coming into play.
Okay.
So the package is a heavier one.
Okay.
When I go off spin, it's just this.
Okay.
Only Mutai Mulizan used to bowl with the wrist, so he could turn the ball in any wicket. But spin is normally this, leg spin is all of this, the wrist and the fingers.
Okay.
So that is why when we say Livingston and Moeen and Adil Rashid, they're leg spinners. If Chahal, that is the same group. So you cannot put Livingston and Rashid and Ashwin and Aksar in the same group. They're different players altogether. Okay? So that's the reason why Ashwin couldn't bowl quicker. And I agree with him, he should have. But he couldn't because there's nothing in the track. Now Alex Hales will hit that out of the park. He knows that. If this batter wasn't Alex Hales and somebody else, he could. Alex Hales is one of the biggest hitters in T20 cricket all over the leagues. So Ashwin, if he bowls slowly, will get hit out. The two ways Ashwin can stop him, one is by bowling quicker, or if the wicket is helping him, which it wasn't today. If there was turn on the pitch, then Ashwin would hit him up hills. But today it wasn't. So he thought with 166, if he bowls slow and gets it for 2 sixes, then we're staring down the barrel, which ultimately happened. So I know where Aksar and Ashwin came from. Because you always keep the runs down. And they got off to a flyer. See, one would be if they were 6 overs, 31. And then Ashwin comes, it's okay. But they're already batting at 10, 11. So the Ashwin was 7. So at 7, what are you going to do? 7 is a walk in the park.
They started with 10 runs per over. Now, every time this happens, every time the team loses, first thing that happens is the captain's captaincy comes under the scanner. Rohit Sharma's captaincy will be the most talked about in this World Cup. He had the opportunity to add a feather to his cap, unfortunately he couldn't succeed. Where do you think he got wrong with his selection, his bowling changes? How could he have used his bowlers better?
Yeah, I don't think his captaincy was wrong. I think the intent with India played was wrong. I think his captaincy was spot on. There's nothing wrong with his captaincy. I think the way India batted, the intent was a lot to be desired.
Jayana, I would like to ask you one thing. Please do correct me. You are time and again emphasizing on India should have batted better, but they have lost by 10 wickets. It's the bowlers who have failed to bat wickets. Right?
So if it's like saying that how do I explain this? So when India should have got 200, India got 160. So whose fault is that? Batters. And then you're asking the bowlers to get the ball within 160. Just because you were back with the bat doesn't mean I'm going back with the bat. Right? So India were not good with the bat today.
But when you have two departments playing, one department unfortunately doesn't
No,
play.
I
So
see.
there is the option of another department. So why doesn't the other department?
It cannot because it's not feasible. It's like saying that you and I are in a partnership. Now we're giving an exam together. I'm giving English literature, you're giving English language. Now you've got 80 and I've got 5, so I'm expecting you to get 100 and 100 so that I can bail out.
So
when, just to answer yours in one line, if India had got 200, then if England lost the game, it would be.
Sure, yeah.
So if India had got 200 and if then England had lost the game by 10 wickets, that would be the bowlers' fault.
Okay.
Because the batters had set up the game for the bowlers. The batters had given the bowlers runs to play with and said, now go and win the game.
So Team India should have put a handsome amount of runs on the board, which they failed to do.
Which is why, for the bowlers, couldn't make it, okay, you can say why 10 wicket win, you should have been an 8 wicket win. That I can understand. Okay? You will not often see in a T20 game a 10 wicket win, especially when it's 160 chasing. This is one off. It's happened once with Pakistan. So only in the history of Indian cricket, only it's happened twice. So you could say that, okay, at least we should have taken 2-3 wickets, but that would have won us the game. That would have won us the game. And for me, a 10 wicket win, an 8 wicket win, we were totally outplayed today.
We were outplayed in every department.
And the problem started with the batting department, yes, and the bowling department also could not do their bit. But the bulk of the failure or the blame goes to the batters.
But Rohit Sharma has made a very interesting comment in the post-match presentation. We batted well at the back end to get to the score, but we were not up to the mark with the ball. We could not turn up today. We know the runs are scored square of the wicket. We were aware about it, but we couldn't execute our plans today. Agree?
I don't agree.
Even I don't agree with it. He's putting up the blame on the bowlers.
Is he just trying to be diplomatic?
No, I know. He feels that. He doesn't
Okay. So now, gentlemen, one question about one player from the Indian department, from the Indian team. Unfortunate for that player to get injured during the group stages, which allowed Rishabh Pant to get a few games. But is this the end, once and for all, for Dinesh Karthik? Shubhan?
I think a retirement is around the corner. We'll have an official update very soon. I'm pretty sure about that. But a good career. He won the 2007 T20 World Cup with the Indian team. But again, what I have seen of Dinesh Karthik in the domestic circuit, he hasn't been able to execute or produce that for the Indian jersey. But a very a topsy-turvy career, I would say. But yes, I think it is the end of Dinesh Karthik.
Shujata?
I think there's some teams from New Zealand and of companies. He's
No,
one of them.
he's not.
So even before this tournament is over, he knew his career is over, and I think he's done really well at 37 to make the World Cup team. And he also knew. I think even if he had a phenomenal World Cup, they might look beyond him. Because what Australia do is, even when they are really good players, they would ask, "Sir, thank you for your 140 Test matches, but sir, you need to make way because we need to get this kid in, and he need to play 30 Test matches before these guys retire. So thank you for being there." So this is also a time for, I think, not only just Dinesh Karthik, a lot of players, a lot of heads will grow. And the newer lot will come because the next T20 World Cup is a couple of years away. You want them to also play 40 games before the next World Cup comes. You don't want them to play the T20 World Cup in their 7th game.
Right.
So again, the work for the next lot will get ready. And Pant is already there, whether it be Pant or Ishan Kishan or Sanju Samson, that time will tell. But you can't go ahead with a 37-year-old for the next 2 years and 4 years.
Right. And let's get to England now. England, well, you just have to run out of adjectives and superlatives with, I think they're perfect, aren't they?
They're a perfect day.
They're a perfect
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
Perfect team. They look the perfect team right now. The team everybody wanted to be in this World Cup. Let's talk about Butler and Alex Hales just ripping apart India.
Did you see that when they hit the winning shot? Did you see that glee?
Yes.
That you know why that came? Not because they won by 10 wickets. Because days like this come very seldom.
They enjoyed it.
They enjoyed it because this not often, just not England, not India. This could be anybody. This could be in Australia. This could have been South Africa. This could have been New Zealand.
It was just
The opponent.
India's day.
It was their day when you go to chase against a semi-final game, crunch game, do it or go home game, and then you win it. 165 in total, okay, for me. And then you go and do it in such a way where it's like over 15, 16 overs, 10 wickets. It doesn't get better than this. So that's the reason that Glee came out. I mean, they can't say that we will do this again in the next 3 months. It might not happen in the next 5 years.
Right.
Right.
10 wicket win might not happen again.
Right. And Shubha, just tell us about your emotions. How impressed were you with this outstanding approach, this mindset which Butler and Alex Hales portrayed today? With the batting, as Joyda said, that not too many runs were on the board, but that didn't stop them from starting with a 10 runs for over break and then suddenly just going berserk and finishing the game with 5 overs remaining.
This is not the first time they have done that. This is their template and it has been set from 2015.
This is important.
From Oil Morgan's day. When
This is the format they play with.
And that is why
Win or lose.
Yes.
You're in, out. You do well, you do better. This is the way. So then you over 2 years say that how has it been?
Yes.
Is this working for us?
Yes.
And Joyda, if you remember during the 1950 over World Cup, there were plenty of talks that this England team could go on and post 500 run total for the first time in ODIs because that is their right ball template. Beat 50 over, beat 20 over, they will attack from ball 1, they will keep going till the last ball. That is their template and they are very good at it. When they started in 2015, they failed for a year or so, but they stick to it. They stuck to it. Oil Morgan backed his players. Oil Morgan backed Jason Roy. Jason Roy, unfortunately, is not in this team. But yes, he was terrific in the 2019 World Cup.
Right.
Johnny Bairstow. These guys, they were young. They had hot blood. Ben Stokes. After all the controversy, Ben Stokes, Alex Hales coming back into the team, and with the pace attack as well. They have backed Jofra Archer. They brought him in. Chris Jordan is there. He has been with the team. They have polished up. Karan brothers. Tom Curran is not in this team, but he has played a role in the build-up to the T20 World Cup or the ODI World Cup. Sam Curran now, Mark Wood. It's a phenomenal team, and when you look at the team, they didn't have Jofra Archer in this World Cup. They didn't have Reece Topley in this World Cup. They didn't have Parkwood in this match. But look at that bench strength. They have 40 players ready who can say, I'll come and hit you from ball one.
And it's a great point because till 2015, England was not a good white team.
No.
They won.
They didn't have a good outing in the 2015.
No, they have not been from 1975. They've never won a World Cup till 2015. Sri Lanka won a World Cup before they did. In Sri Lanka were minnows. England is where the game started. What I'm saying is, once you are right in the right path, then the process takes time. But you have to play the game the way it should be played. So 2015, great point. Morgan, Bayliss coming together. Now Joe Root is the Virat Kohli, is the Rohit Sharma in the DBC here. No, he's not. So they make tough changes. They make tough calls. That's the reason why they're here. Now there are only 2 or 3 players who play 3 versions. We've got 7 players who play 3 versions. They've got 2 or 3. Ben Stokes is one. I can think of. Johnny Bairstow is another one. 2 people. Now Ben Stokes is retired from one-day cricket. So there's one player who plays 3 versions, Johnny Bairstow. And we've got 7. So look at the range of players they have. You know, to pick from.
So the English management is doing a good job with their players, utilizing them according to their potential, allowing them to play the formats for which they are suited best, even if they possess the talent to play all the 3 formats.
And there was a lot of controversy, a lot of question marks during the World Test Championship when they started to rotate a few players. Why they are not playing? They are the best players. Why they are not in the Test format? And they kept on losing. They are not in the World Test Championship final scenario. But they knew that the T20 World Cup
long run. It's a long run.
Long run. They kept on.
See, batch bowlers now come. They lost, but they beat us in the Test series. They beat New Zealand and South Africa. They beat in this last summer. They lost a couple of Test matches. We said batch bowlers are working, but they backed it. And then 2 years, 3 years later, they take stock and say, guys, is the strategy working? Is it not? It's not every day. But they approach it. It's the approach. It's the intent. I talk about intent because today I can't imagine Rohit Sharma scoring 27 balls. That's intent. And this is the Rohit Sharma we saw in 2019 World Cup. We know what he did. Yeah, okay, it can happen. But ultimately we ran out of balls. So Pant is hoping, I wish I had 10 more balls. Why are you not hoping that Hardik has another 10 balls? But the balls were gone.
And now on a serious note, since 2013, well, unfortunately, once again, the wait still continues for India to bring home some World Cup. It's been a long time, almost close to 10 years now. Why and how is Team India always, losing the track in knockout stages of ICC events, Jayalal?
Coming against the best team, that's why. In the knockout stages when the best teams come, that's the reason why we're losing out, because we're losing out to teams that are playing the finals, we're losing out to teams that are becoming champions. So once we play the group stages, we're going through because we're not playing the champions all the time, but here you're playing all the champions. Here you're playing Pakistan, here you're playing in Australia, you're playing in England, you're playing the informed teams. So that's the reason why. So if you want to win the World Cup, you've got to beat informed teams. When we won it in 1983, we beat informed teams. In 2007, we beat informed teams. In 2015, in 2011, we beat informed teams. So you have to win these games to win a final. Maybe if you want today's game, maybe the final would have been an easier game, a walk in the park. But this is the game, this is the hurdle. Not always is the final the most difficult hurdle. Sometimes the semis. I would think that England is a tougher opponent than Pakistan, but you've succumbed to them, so you're not good enough to play the final. Now England and Pakistan will play each other. May the better team win. But England has to feel that has to beat one of the best to be able to go and play the final. You can't just beat lesser teams and say let's get to the final with that. Somebody good is up there to win any tournament in any sphere, whether it's state. Talk about Bengal cricket. You got to win. You got to beat Bombay. You got to beat Himachal to Tamil Nadu, Karnataka to go and win. So that is where we are. The same question asked often to me: why does Bengal lose in the semi-final? Because we are losing to Saurashtra, who won the Ranji Trophy. We are losing to MP, who won the Ranji Trophy. So we are losing to people who have won the tournament. So we are not lost to anybody. So once that pyramid is coming to its summit, it's the best out there, and then it's everybody's game.
Right. To this question, he cites the reason of beating champion teams. Won't you agree that even the point of handling mental pressure or pressure of finals also comes into play, Shivan?
I think they are very well capable of handling pressure. All guys are experienced.
Paddy Upton is also there.
Paddy Upton is also there. They have brought in a specialist mental conditioning coach to handle that. And these guys are no minnows. They have played 40-50 matches for India, T20. They play IPL in high pressure situations. situations for 2 months in a year. They know how to handle situation. And you know, I mentioned this point earlier in this session that it's all about conservative. There's a blockage. You know, अगर 2-3 विकेट गिर गया तो क्या होगा? There's that fear. And when you look at
2-3 विकेट ना गिर के भी क्या होगा?
that is where both template Rohit Sharma, when he became the captain, he brought in that answer that we'll change that template, we'll start attacking. But suddenly when you come to Australia, when you see the conditions, you stop using that template.
Also, Shubman, what happened is that runs weren't flowing. Rohit was not in form. If Rohit was in form, then he would play differently. But he also knows he's not in form. Nobody knows better than him. He's not at his best. So then you take a little bit of time, hopefully it will come. But then the balls are gone.
And well, this is the end of India's World Cup campaign in this ongoing ICC T20 Men's World Cup happening in Australia. On a final note, gentlemen, it's on the 13th of November, England versus Pakistan. Is 1992 still on the cards?
Yeah,
It's a recap.
That's a recap. I think the two most informed teams, Pakistan have been on fire of late. England has been on fire all through. See, we love our country, we want our country to win. But at the end of the day, a World Cup is about the two best teams in the final, and they are.
Shubham?
Oh, completely agree. I think Pakistan, the way the permutation and combination came their way, the way they have played in the last couple of games, and England, I said it in our pre-tournament preview that England will be the team to beat in this format, and they showed why. And I am going with England. I will do the prediction and preview later on, but with the current form, with two matchups, it's going to be a fascinating battle. Pakistan's pace attack, England's batting unit is going to be a mouth-watering.
Yeah, Damani was giving me the eyeball when I said England is my favorite. But I again said, it goes without saying that we want India to win.
Yeah.
But when we see from a cricketing point of view, I always feel that England are playing this game in the right way. Now, out of 10 times, they're not going to win 10 times, but there'll be days like today when we played in one way and they played in another way, and it's evident in front of us which is the better way to play.
Joanna, before Damini finishes up this session, I'll end up with this point. Sport, be it individual sport or team sport, it's all about being ahead of the curve.
Of course.
Right.
And England, in this white ball format, I'm not talking about their red ball format. Of course, they have brought in baseball, which is again ahead of the curve, we can say.
And in 2 years' time, we'll know when that works or not.
Yes.
It's too early to say. It's just come.
But since 2015, when no other teams were going like this, they were ahead of the curve and they are reaping rewards now.
And just on that, a great point is that because they have 19-20 counties, they have a lot of players that come through. We should get Akash Vashish, and Akash Vashish should go and play for India because they take players and play them straight away.
Yeah.
Top League came from nowhere. A lot of these players come from nowhere. David Malan came from nowhere. So look at how many times that 2007 players are still playing this World Cup. You look at in the last 5 T20s, 8-9 players have played. But in England, only 2-3 have survived. Because they get new players and get said, gotta go. It's a young man's game, it's a full-on game. So there's a lesson that England is putting up for every team in the world. This is the way to play white ball cricket.
And with these thoughts, we come to the end of this post-match show of the second semi-final between India and England. Unfortunate for Team India, it's the official end of their World Cup campaign, while England are all smiles as they sail through to be the second finalists and book a date with Pakistan on the 13th of November when we will get to know who will be crowned world champions for the second time. And ladies and gentlemen, you were hearing my panelists in the studio, Jaideep Mukherjee and Shubham Chakrabarti with their insights. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining. And until the final on the 13th, enjoy other good games around the world. Take care of yourselves, and it's good night from India. Thank you so much.